have a bit of a unique performance today. So I'm playing something called The Legend of John Henry by Michael B. Blostein. If any of you know The Legend of John Henry, then, well, it's a pretty cool story. It's about this guy, his name's John Henry, and he was a slave. But after the Civil War, he was freed. So he went to go find work, and he found work on the railroads. And this kind of tells the story of like fighting the man and that kind of stuff. So what is very interesting about this performance is that I'm telling the story throughout the solo. So there's going to be various times where I am speaking, a couple times where Rylan is speaking, and I think Gavin is speaking too. So that's pretty cool. And I also have Rylan playing something called the break drum. It makes a high-pitched anvil-like sound, which is the sound that you wanted for this solo. So please enjoy The Legend of John Henry by Michael D. Blostein. So, in the days following the Civil War, many former slaves found themselves free men looking for work in the new frontier. The West provided good work at a solid wage and purpose. The rails were steady work, and the men were strong, none more so than John Henry. Fastest man worked in the rails. He would drive those stick steel spikes straight into the rock with all of his might. Couldn't go around the huge mountain, but needed to go through it. But the men of the rail were hard, tough men. They fought their way through the mountain, losing 1,000 workers along the way. The men that were left had to breathe the dirt-filled air all day long, and they couldn't see their hammers in front of them.
John Henry worked
something so powerful that he claimed it could dig faster than any man alive. Well now, John Henry was about to let a challenge like that go, so the contest was set up between the two, John Henry with a hammer in each hand against that steam-powered drill. Now let me tell you folks, that was one heck of a contest. There was dust everywhere. The sound of the hammers against the steam-powered drill was louder than anything the men had ever heard, so the ground itself shook with every hammer blow. Through it all, the men were hooting and hollering, cheering on old John Henry. When the contest had ended, the steam-powered drill had created a 9-foot hole, a truly massive feat that couldn't be outdone. Then, the men looked at John Henry. Well, he had drilled 2 holes, each 7 feet long. He had won the contest. Hammers held high, the men shouted and cheered. Their man had won.
Then, in one swift motion, he fell to the ground, the hammers falling from his big hands. The crowd was silent with a gasp. The foreman rushed to his side, but it was too late. A stroke had claimed the great John Henry. Some folks say you can still see the likeness of John Henry carved into the side of the Big Ben tunnel. Others say if you stand quietly at the edge of the tunnel, you can still hear those 2 20-pound hammers